My house so empty right now without.
At 3:35, my grandson was dead.
This was stuff that I tried to protect him from.
Call y'all phone every day. He check up on everybody.
Back here on the north side, on the south side, and in the heart of downtown, the last few weeks have been violent for Chicago public school students.
A bright young man whose life was taken suddenly. A good kid, not in the street, well respected, well mounted, He loved everybody. A dancer whose life was cut short away, but who wanted to be a veterinarian.
On the last day of January in 2024, the Edgewater neighborhood in Chicago became the scene of a brazen act of violence which left the community shaken. Around 3:36 p.m., 3 teenage boys, students of Nicholas Senn High School, found themselves under attack in broad daylight in an area lined with apartment buildings. It was a usual day as the teens walked along the 1200 block of West Thorndale Avenue between Lakewood and Magnolia Avenues. A vehicle pulled up beside them, and without warning, several individuals rushed out brandishing firearms. In a terrifying barrage of discharges, the assailants unleashed their weapons upon the unsuspecting teenagers before speeding away, leaving chaos and tragedy in their wake. The students were just 2 blocks away from their school. Sadly, one of the boys, later identified as 16-year-old Daveon Gibson, was struck in his chest. Despite desperate efforts, Daveon was pronounced gone at St. Francis Hospital, leaving a void in the hearts of his loved ones, schoolmates, and the community. Another unidentified 16-year-old male, suffering from discharge wounds to the jaw, chest, and arm, was rushed to St. Francis Hospital in critical condition. Meanwhile, an unidentified 15-year-old boy endured a wound to the leg and was transported to Illinois Masonic Medical Center, where he was listed in stable condition. Following the incident, a community member shared a harrowing account of her daughter-in-law's courageous efforts to aid the injured teens, highlighting the emotional toll of the incident on those who witnessed the aftermath.
My daughter-in-law came out of her home yesterday, and as this child was dying, she held him in her arms until he died, and she will never be the same again.
It is unusual for this neighborhood, for sure. I'm just stunned, honestly. It's awful.
As the investigation unfolded, law enforcement swiftly cordoned off Thorndale Avenue, conducting thorough searches and canvassing nearby businesses for surveillance footage. Residents were urged to steer clear of the area during the ongoing investigation. During a public hearing held on the west side the night prior to the incident, Chicago Police Superintendent Larry Snelling confronted the pressing issue of youth violence prevention. Addressing a concerned audience, he highlighted the crucial role of collaboration between law enforcement and the community in addressing the root causes of violence among young people. Snelling also encouraged community members to reach out to vulnerable youth in need of support. During a press conference shortly after the incident in Edgewater, Superintendent Larry Snelling, visibly disturbed by the senseless violence, addressed the media, condemning the targeted attack on the young victims.
At this point, that's being investigated. However, we do believe that the 3 individuals were targeted.
Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, making a rare appearance at the discharge scene, echoed Snelling's sentiments, expressing grave concern over the rampant violence plaguing Chicago's neighborhood. Speaking during a community violence intervention on the South Side, Mayor Brandon had also shared that he is working with law enforcement to try and keep students safe during transition times at school.
Well, I'm a parent. I'm sending my kids to school tomorrow. We're not going to allow this tragedy to disrupt our lives in Chicago. Look, our hearts are heavy. We're grieving. And as I said, as a parent, no parent should have to bury their child. And the provocation that leads to this type of violence, we have to put an end to. And I'm committed to that. But what I can say to every single parent is what I'm saying to my wife, that we have to work together. We have to work together to get at the root causes of violence, but we also have to work with our police department to bring these violent individuals to justice. But we're not going to allow these acts of terror to disrupt our livelihoods. My children will be in school tomorrow, and children across this city will be in schools tomorrow. And we're going to do everything in our power to make sure that our young people are safe. But we're also going to make sure that we bring these individuals to justice. We're also going to make sure that we get at the root causes of this violence. Because until we do that, we will never be satisfied. The full force of government will be used to bring those individuals to justice. Whatever conflict and whatever pain that you are expressing, this is not the way to do it. The loss of life is tearing at the fabric of this city.
The Edgewater incident marked the second fatal incident involving high school students in less than a week, and the third in 9 days, intensifying concerns over the safety of Chicago's youth. I have covered both incidents in the episodes immediately preceding this, and they are also linked in the comment section below. During the press conference, Snelling clarified that there was no evidence linking Monterio and Robert's tragic demise and the one in Edgewater.
Considering that this happened near a school, just like the previous incident, is there going to be something done in terms of police strategy surrounding the schools and when students get out of school?
Well, what I can tell you is this. In the past, with schools where we know we've had volatile incidents, we made sure that we had special attention around those schools. We are going to have special attention around all the schools. So across the districts, across the entire city, we will make sure that we have a police presence at dismissal and at the time that students are arriving at school.
Last question. Is there any connection between last week's incident and this incident outside of the apparent similarities in time and place?
So, good question, because I knew that would probably come up. Right now, there is no evidence that these two shootings are connected. No evidence that they're connected. So we want to put that to rest. We have to push back against this type of violence, this type of brazenness. We have to protect our children. We have to protect the innocent here. So we will hold violent criminals accountable. I can promise you that.
As a memorial began to take shape near the scene, the community rallied together in solidarity. The evening after, a vigil was held in Daveon's honor. Law enforcement presence was ramped up in the 30 minutes before, with police cruisers stationed in the area and uniformed officers patrolling the vicinity. Bouquets of white, pink, and yellow flowers adorned a chalk-rendered pink heart upon the sidewalk, bearing the inscription, quote, "You matter to us." There were more than 50 attendees, and Daveon's classmates spoke of his kindness and the profound impact he had on those around him. Heartbroken residents also expressed deep sympathy for the families affected by the senseless tragedy. Trinity Church's doorstep bore witness to the incident. The pastor, Matt Sweetman, who is also a father of 2 sons, urged fathers to assume a proactive stance in shielding young boys from the scourge of firearm violence pervading the city's streets. In no shady way at all, I would also like to mention that while doing research for this story, I noticed that Daveon's father appeared to be quite present in his life. However, I do agree that the pastor's sentiments would apply to some situations.
Prayers, tears, and words of sympathy.
Bless your soul.
Capture the emotions of those in Edgewater.
No youth deserves to be killed intentionally.
With Chicago police keeping the watch, this group gathers on the same block where 16-year-old Daveon Gibson's life came to an end.
Lord, we want to pray for healing in our city.
Pastor Matt Sweetman of Trinity Church organized this vigil because the community is stunned. The pastor's 16-year-old son was friends with Daveon.
He's someone that you wanted to know, someone that you wanted to be friends with.
An emotional balloon release at Tallman and West Hirsch in Humboldt Park Friday night, led by the heartbroken family of Daveon Gibson.
Y'all get the wrong person. My baby don't gangbang. My baby don't be in the streets. My baby like to come home, play his game, meet with his brothers. My house so empty right now without.
Every day he make it home at 3:25, but Wednesday at 3:35, my grandson was dead.
This was stuff that I tried to protect him from.
Keep his name alive, keep this photo going till we get this shooter.
I need answers like why? Why my baby?
Daveon's little brother explains his last moments with the brother he loved so much, how the fashion-forward sophomore helped the 8th grader get ready for pictures before school Wednesday, and how he loved everyone.
He call y'all phone every day. He check up on everybody, bro.
My heart is broken. I can't breathe.
Let me my best friend. My baby was everything to me. Turn yourself in. Turn yourself in. This is killing me.
We can't just let this death be in vain. They took him away too soon. And to the cowards that did this, you're going to reap what you sow.
Superintendent Snelling swiftly ordered additional police patrols around Senn High School following the incident as promised. Nevertheless, some students opted to stay home altogether. Inside the high school, counselors provided support to grieving students, while some parents voiced concerns about the safety of their children in the wake of the tragedy.
It's just heartbreaking. My heart goes out to the parents.
As students return to Senn High School, what's on the mind of parents is safety.
I had just picked him up and he came jogging to the car, and I asked him, like, what's going on, what's happening? It was like they told us to go straight off campus because they heard guns.
My gosh, I can't believe it, you know. I feel so bad for the parents of these kids.
We just send our kids to school thinking, like, already acting with us worried about that, and then when we hear something like that, it's just heartbreaking.
I'm seeing these tears in your eyes right now. This is emotional for you, I can imagine.
I just think that we just need to come together. We should feel safe sending our kids together, but we need more like police presence and more like safe passage. We don't really see too much over here, so like safe passage and police presence, that's what we need.
As of this video, no arrests have been made. However, I will be following this case, and I hope that justice is served. May the family and friends of Daveon Gibson find solace in the happy memories, and may his soul rest in perpetual peace. Thank you.